gentlemen, into cage number 2. In the blue corner, representing Ireland, Adam Darby. And now for cage number 2 in the red corner, representing Belgium, Habirora Patrick.
Junior welterweight action here. The IMMAF European Championships 2019. And welterweight contested at 77.1 kilograms or 170 pounds. And we have Adam Darby from Ireland in the blue corner. And Habirora Patrick from Belgium in the red corner. And Darby coming with an amateur record of 8-2, so very experienced. Almost certainly been in a lot of these situations before with the pre-fight nerves and the travel, the training, the diet, being away from the family. So, you know, Darby's been here, he's seen the lights, he's seen the big screens. He's going to come in here very confident. Round 1. Touch of gloves. Patrick already looking for the Taekwondo techniques. And he's known for his bouncy footwork, his elusive movement. You can see there from the head work. He's got to think about checking that kick, however. And there's the kicks we see from precarious angles from Patrick. He's just able just to flick that leg out. And from untraditional positions, you don't realize that people can fire that leg out. Much like TJ Dillashaw does in the UFC. He fires that rear kick as he's coming forward, really close range, and you don't notice it. It just comes right over the top and cracks you in the head.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and now into cage number 1 for the blue corner.
Stiff jab with some head movement there. Look at the slips from Patrick. He's just got an excellent striking game. Very effective in MMA. He's made sure that he keeps the head moving, keeps the guy nice and guard nice and high. When he works the leg kicks, he whips that leg back nice and quick. But, I mean, you could argue here, Darby's been here, he's seen that, and he's almost certainly got a reach advantage, looking like the taller of the two. I'd like to see him use that reach in this fight, work the jab to set up the rear hand. I just seem to throw some offbeat techniques, kind of not the traditional 1, 2, 3. You know, I'd like to see him skip up the techniques offbeat to try and catch Patrick slipping. Because Patrick works on a kind of a rhythm, you know, he bounce in and out. He'll block, he'll shoulder, there we go, the left hook. There's the kick. It's kind of, it's almost like a rhythm of striking. And if you go outside that rhythm, it tends to throw guys off, and they in turn hold back a little bit. So that would shut down the game of Patrick. Whoa, spinning back fist there. Beautiful work from Patrick. Again, we're seeing the techniques from Patrick, bringing those techniques from Belgium here in Rome. Beautiful work. And there was the offbeat techniques. You saw the punches, and then the kick was like a question mark kick. It wasn't just like a one beat kick, bam. It was a whip kick. You know, that's like an offbeat strike there. That's exactly what Darby needs to do.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, into the red corner on cage number 1, representing France, Maria Florian.
Now you're seeing Patrick hold back a little bit, and that's what prompted that double leg shot. Stuffed looking for the outside trip, body lock, but drags his opponent on top of him. But Patrick made a mistake there of not just swiveling around. Again, at the end of the round, he's just going to hold on to right out the end of the round, but that's going to finish strong in the judges' scorecard. You know, they're going to remember that Darby got that takedown at the end of the round and landed on top. Round 2 here. And Darby and Patrick get back underway, and it's Patrick with that overhand right, faking the rear teep there. Then opting to go to the chin. Darby's got to be careful when he evades backwards, dropping that lead hand, that left hand. Opens up the rear hand there from Patrick. Patrick looking for the double underhooks, looking to go for the knee there. Big head kick there from Darby. Just poking the eye there that Patrick was complaining of. And Darby kept going there. I mean, you could argue that was the correct thing to do. Like, that you don't stop unless the ref tells you to. You know, there was an eye poke there. They're going to get that checked out. And Darby would get a warning for the eye poke. Just to close the fist. When you go to punch your opponent, you can't have an open fist, your fingers out. And it's particularly more predominant. You see it more in the amateur events because the glove's a lot larger. There's a lot more kind of tightness in the glove. It's harder to make a fist. So we see, you know, the hands come out, the fingers protrude from the top of that glove a little bit more easier in the amateur ranks. But we're back underway here. Nice leg kick there from Darby. Darby now more active with those kicks. He fired the combinations and finished with a kick. But I love the way he switches it up. Sometimes he goes to the head, sometimes to the leg, even to the body as well. Keeps Patrick guessing. Double leg attempt there, stuffed. Switching to a single leg is Patrick. He's going to use the cage now to work this position. You can see there that Darby's looking for the double underhooks. He's digging his arms underneath the arms of Patrick to defend this takedown. Using the shin as well to give him a bit more stability off his feet. Now the outside trip there from Darby. He's got the double underhooks, it looks like, in this position. And Patrick there holding the cage, a little bit naughty there. You know, you could argue that potentially would have been a takedown, and right now Darby would have been on top. But Darby gets straight back at it, doesn't get frustrated. Again, we spoke about his 8-2 record. A very seasoned fighter. He's not going to get frustrated and let that impair his performance. He gets straight back at it, working for the takedown. And he gets it. Beautiful work. Drags his opponent to the ground, uses his hips as a lever. He's going to now look to establish the back. Seatbelt grip here could potentially skip those hooks in. He's going to look to drag Patrick onto his back. He needs to start thinking about putting that left knee underneath the body of Patrick as he pulls him over, so the left knee would act as almost like a laid out hook already. So if you pull your opponent to the back and try and get your hooks in, they can block them when they put their knees up to their chest. So you kind of want to sneak one in and lay the foundation of that hook before you put it in. And Darby at the end looking for the choke with the arm in, but didn't get it. And again, we spoke about the experience of Darby. Darby really just kind of more comfortable in there, more aware of what he needs to do, and he's just kind of a bit easier dipping into his toolbox to pick out the relevant tools to use. Just going to bring the doctor in here to double check the eye there. The referee just wants that checked out. And again, an amazing medical team here, amazing official team at the IMMAF European Championships. They do a great job of bringing in the best referees, the best doctors, the best medics, most experienced authorities here to make sure this event runs smoothly and, more importantly, safely. You know, a lot of these are in play just to keep the athletes safe and when they compete, to make sure that they get a fair shake of the hand and everybody's coming out with a paramount health and not coming away with any undue circumstances that would be presented if there wasn't any officials or high-level officials. So the IMMAF doing a great job of bringing those doctors and officials out here, so thank you to them for being here today, live from Rome. But again, Darcy getting back at it with looking for the body lock, staying nice and tight to his opponent, utilising the hip-in motion. He's going to try and pull his hips to his opponent and then circle him around to trip him over his hips. And then we see again beautiful work from Darcy, and he's going to look to take the back here. He might be more methodical here. He might look to get one hook in first, then establish the next one, and not kind of jump to it too early on and lose the position. Patrick here did a good job standing to his feet. And then look at that, Darby jump in the back with the hooks in straight away. And that was what we were talking about. He's waiting for that opportunity to present himself. So now he finds himself in a position with both hooks out, the ability to flatten his opponent out, which allows him to strike the head. And the arms tend to go underneath your body, so you can't defend that easy. You can see completely flattened out now is Patrick. Beautiful work here from Darby. Big punches here. I mean, you could argue that he's defending himself. He's got the hand up. He's trying to get out of this position. Unanswered blows there. Yeah, I was just about to say that there's a few unanswered blows. He's defending himself, but you have to intelligently defend yourself. Just covering up into a ball doesn't amount to intelligent defense. You know, you still obtain that damage, and that's what I was speaking about with regards to the high-level officials. They understand that. You know, they don't want these athletes to go away after their amateur career and have problems later on in life. They do a great job of making sure everybody's safe, everybody can come here and compete and go home with the same health as they returned, minus a few bumps and bruises from the fight, obviously. But again, Darby showing that his 8-2 record in the domestic circuit has really served him to fruit here. He was able just to dive into his toolbox and utilize the relevant skills to shut down Patrick. And a great job there from Ireland in the welterweight division.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're at cage number 2 after 1 minute and 46 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by TKO strikes in the blue corner from Ireland, Darby. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on cage number 3. Referee calls stop the contest at 45 seconds. Let's go for your winner by triangle choke, representing Russia in the red corner, Ilya Timachenko.